3.
Hey guys, so as many of you know, I have type 1 diabetes, and the biggest question I get when I'm wearing my pump is how do I put it on? But I think we need to go back a little bit and I want to tell you why I wear a pump. There are a couple ways that diabetics can give themselves insulin. I can do injections with a syringe and a vial of insulin. I can use pens, or I can use my pump. I personally like to use my pump more because when I do injections, I have to do them every time I eat or drink, and it's just giving a shot, 7, 8, however many times I eat that day or drink anything. With the pump, it's attached to my body all the time, and I don't have to give that many injections. It just goes in. I switch this out every 3 days, and like I said, the biggest question I get is how I put it on, what it is, where does it go, how does it work, do I have to go to a doctor's office to do it? So I thought the easiest way would be to just make a video and show you guys. It's so much easier to watch and see than it is to explain. So I've already done the boring part. I took my old insulin out. It is stored right in here in this reservoir, and then it goes through this tubing and it connects right here to my body, to my infusion site. And this carries about 180 units of insulin, which will usually last me 3 to 4 days, depending on what my cravings are like. If I'm craving a lot of sweet stuff or pasta, I'll go through it pretty fast, but normally it lasts me about 4 days. I've already took my old site off. It was on this side of my body, so I'm gonna put it on this side. I have to switch sides because I don't want scar tissue buildup. I like to wear them on my hips, or like the love handle area, I guess you could call it, because my stomach already has so much scar tissue that it hurts more in my stomach, so I wear them on my hips. Because insulin it doesn't go into the muscle, it goes into the fat. I don't have a lot of places I can put my pump because I don't have a lot of fat on my body. So my hips and my stomach are pretty much the only place I can do it, which sometimes proves difficult when I am sore on one hip, maybe sore on the other, and my stomach has a lot of scar tissue. So it can get a little complicated. But this is the infusion site. It goes in at an angle like that. That way, because I don't have a lot of fat, it doesn't go straight down. And so I'm just gonna start putting on my pump. So I'm going to lift this up so my dress stays out of the way. And I'm just going to put it about right here because I can press and I can feel that I've got some fat there. There's a little dot right there. It's kind of hard to see, but that's where my site was last week. So it's still healing a little bit, so I'm going to go back just a tad from that. And I'm going to clean my skin because this is going to be in my body for a couple days. I want to make sure that everything is clean before I put it on. And while that dries, I'm going to get set up. So this is, I'm not really sure what they call it. I call it my injector. This is what actually puts my site in my body. So I'm just going to put the teeth in like that. It'll clamp down, and then I'm going to remove the needle guard. And that's probably the biggest question, is I don't actually keep the needle in my body. Around the needle is a little tubing called the cannula, and the needle puts the tube in my body and then I pull the needle out. So I don't keep the needle in my body. So then I'm just going to remove this so it will stick to my body, and I'm going to pull it back until it clicks like that. These little skis will guide it into my body, and I just place it just like that and press down only slightly. Make sure that's unlocked. I kind of pull the adhesive back just a little bit so that it doesn't lay weird. Tilt it up, and then I just press and it goes in. And I'm going to remove the injector, press that adhesive down, and then I'm just going to remove the needle So there's the needle. And now the tubing is left in my body so that it delivers my insulin. Remove that side and just lay it down like that. Make sure it's down there because it has to stay on for 3 days. I have had to put like 10 million band-aids over this to keep it to stay because sometimes it doesn't. And then I just connect my pump. Right there. And I'll just fill the cannula. And it's just filling the cannula, the tubing, and that's all I do. And I wear my pump. I can put it like up and hide it right there, and you can't even see it. So that's how I put my pump on. I hope I answered any questions that anyone had, and happy Diabetes Awareness Month.